Students is joining, so please wait in the server.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. I think I'm audible to you. Today we have another session for the science revision, the exam gate program by Malappuram Central Sahodaya. I think almost all the students are quite happy that the previous two exams are concluded in a very nice manner. That means the exams were so easy. And we hope that the coming exam also going to be very easy, the science. And I used to say that this is the luckiest batch because having just half of the portions for the examinations with 40 marks. So this is the situations we are facing now for the board examinations. Anyway, it's the program by Malappuram Central Sahodaya, an association of Cbse schools having 75 schools as members. So the students are joining even now. So welcome all of you to this program. Today we have three eminent faculties. Mrs. Sinumol from ISS School, she will handle the chemistry part, and Mr. Abdul Latif, the physics part from ISS School, and Mrs. Simila from Guidance Public School at Akara will present the biology part. It's a program to just have a revision and more about clearing your doubts and your issues related to the science examinations. And we have three faculties from three different papers of a single paper science. We have physics, chemistry, and biology teachers here. So I welcome all the students and other teachers also to this program, and they will have the very success in the very beginning for the coming examinations. And over to Mrs. Sinumol, she will commence the program with the chemistry. Thank you, ma'am. You can start the program.
Am I audible? Hello? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, madam.
Yes.
Madam.
Hello? Yes, very good afternoon to everyone. This is me, Sinu ma'am from ISS Senior Secondary School. I'm just come here with the last minute of tips and tricks and some accidental errors that you are occurring in your answer sheet. And from this sentence itself, there is a last minute of tips and tricks, isn't it? Then even in my case, the very next day, your exam is going to start is Monday. Then in my case, I believe that only one day is there for your exam, isn't it? Then you are the brilliant students. How you are going to think? Only one day remains to complete your revision? No, the brilliant guys definitely think that in front of you there are 43 hours remains, isn't it? Then meanwhile in this 43 hours, if you are spent 10 hours for your sleep and 5 hours for your foodings and other purposes, then still remains 28 hours or remains for you to complete your 3 subjects, physics, chemistry and biology, isn't it? Then for chemistry, how many chapters you have? Only 2 chapters, carbon and its compounds and periodic classification. Hello dears, am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Hours you need to complete your 2 chapter revision in chemistry. Then we can just exceed to 5 hours, isn't it? Only 5 hours is needed now for revision. Okay. Then only 5 hours now?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Then even still, if you are utilizes 5 hours, still there are so many times remains for completing the physics and biology part. Only 5 hours needed now, isn't it? So, hello dears. Then suppose normally what I do, dears, definitely I just start to run, isn't it? Definitely I just start to run now. Is it visible, this PPT in front of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, very good. And what about me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello dears, am I there?
Yes.
Yes, okay, rocket. Then next, nammal patti varna karyam run. Then but
Hello. Hello.
See, due to some network issues, it happened. Sorry for the interruption. Shall we move to biology, ma'am? Ma'am, are you available here? Simila, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir. You may please begin. Meanwhile, there will be once you finish, we can come to the other subjects.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. You please.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, yes.
Okay. My dear students, you are waiting for your exam, isn't it?
Yes.
Coming Tuesday is our exam, science exam. You might have started or you might have completed your preparation. I think so. Is it? But the days near to examination are very important. The last quick revision, it's very important. How much if you studied before also, once again, last touch-up is very, very important. So let us go through our portions. So before that, I would like to introduce the chapters for our examination. And from biology, this time, it's included 3 chapters, not complete 3 chapters. How do organisms reproduce? That chapter, entire chapter. Heredity and evolution, only first part. And our environment. These are the 3 chapters included in exam. And here, in the question paper, there may be 3 sections. Already you know about it. In the first section, it means in section A, 2 marks questions. In section B, 3 marks questions. And in section C, 4 marks questions are included. And here, they have given weightage for different subjects. From biology, there may be total 18 marks. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
If my sound is not audible, please you have to say.
Audible, audible.
Here, from first chapter, it means from how do organisms reproduce, there may be 2 or 3 questions. It means 2 mark, 2 or 3 questions you can expect. It means from the first part, it means that is asexual reproduction. From asexual reproductions, there may be the chance, I'm telling only chance, 1 question, and from vegetative reproduction you can expect 1 and 1 more from human reproduction also. It means the first section, biology first section, either 4 marks or 6 marks you can expect. Section A, from first chapter, it means from a reproduction chapter, you can expect 2 questions or 3 questions. Then next coming our heredity chapter, heredity and evolution. In that only first part you have to refer for examination. And here heredity, they have given more importance for heredity. Though you are studying only a small portion, much importance is given for heredity. And there some tricky questions also have seen in sample question paper. So you have to give more importance for that tricky questions. Of course, internal choice is given for these tricky questions. Internal choice is given for these tricky questions. So you can select the question which you can score good marks. The questions may be more or less similar type. It means the choices may be more or less similar types, but you have to select the better ones which you can answer properly. Okay. Then from heredity, you can expect 1 4-mark question, 1 3-mark question, and sometimes 1 2-mark question also. Anyhow, give much importance for heredity chapter. Then our environment, the last chapter, our environment, there in sample question papers, we have seen 5 marks questions. So anyhow, you should not leave any chapters. Don't skip any chapters because you are studying only half portion. Only 3 chapters you are studying from biology. So it is very important to refer the full chapters. Okay, do not leave any chapters. Then how to write or how to attend to the examination. You might be knowing because already you attended 2 examinations. So you know how to attend the examinations. And here the question numbers you have to give properly. Not only the main question number and the sub question numbers, the subdivisions also will be given in each questions. The subdivisions number also you have to note in the answer sheet very clearly. Otherwise it will be confused at the time of evaluation. Okay. Then at the end of each answer, if you are underlining, it will be better. So it indicates that the end of the answer. It is better, it is good to underline after every answer. And one more thing is this, the keywords you have to underline, the keywords. Suppose it is a long answer. You might be writing many things. You may be writing 1 or 2 paragraphs sometimes. So here, if you are underlining the key words, the evaluators may get some impression while checking your answer sheet. So give importance for that also. Then if in case, if there are diagrams, you have to draw the diagrams with pencil. Pencil you have to use and labeling should be in proper way. It is better to use capital letters while labeling. It's not compulsory, it's better to use capital letters while labeling. Then mark allocation. For each part, the mark will be given, and that mark allocation is also very important. And the total mark will be given. You know, in the instructions, the total mark of each questions will be, the total marks of sections will be given, and that total mark also will be divided. So mark allocation is also important to note down. According to that mark, you have to write answers. Then, my dear, hello, you have to answer to the questions. According to question, you have to answer. Some questions may be confused questions. And in the beginning, there will be some cool off time to refer each and every question. So the cool off time is very important. You have to go through each and every question properly, and you have to make one rough chart in your mind how to attend each and every answer. The cool off time is very important. So the better questions you have to select and keep in your mind, and through what all area we have to go while attending answers, that also you have to set in your mind in cool off time. Then very easily you can go through your answers. Then another one thing is this: you have to limit your words while writing answers. It's science exam, not social science exam. So you have to give answer to the questions. Avoid unnecessary things. You may not score extra mark if you write extra words. The marks will not be given by counting papers or by counting words, only answer to the question, so that your errors will be reduced and also your time will be reduced. It is a better technique to write the answers. Okay, my dear children.
Yes, ma'am.
Then should we go through each and every chapters once again? The first chapter, how do organisms reproduce? Here it comes. The first thing is importance of DNA copying. Importance of DNA copying. DNA copying is important. Then after that, variations. Variations. DNA copying leads to variations. And you know, these variations are pre-adaptations, but these variations are useful for the survival of species over time. So in the introductory part, that much is given. DNA copying and variations. Go through these. Then next part is modes of reproduction of single organisms. Here, fission is included in the first part. Fission, unicellular reproduction. Here, binary fission and multiple fission is given, and here in most of the question papers they gave much importance to multiple fission. Binary fission, multiple fission difference. Then here comes one important point is that the fission can take place in any plane and in some organisms at definite orientation also. Identify the difference. Then comes fragmentation. Fragmentation can be seen in multicellular organisms. For example, in your textbook, they have given Spirogyra. And though fragmentation is in multicellular organisms, in all multicellular organisms, it's not possible. Not that. Why it's not possible in all organisms? The answer is given specifically in your textbook, because all multicellular organisms body consists of different organs, complex organ systems. So fragmentation is not possible. Just to go through that part also, it's very important. Then comes a regeneration. Regeneration is a regrowth. Regrowth of damaged parts or regrowth of cut parts. And it is done by a special type of cells called stem cells. And here the special types of cells are proliferating, rapid growth we can see, and the organism will be developed. So you may identify the difference between fragmentation and regeneration. Actually, regeneration is not a reproductive process. It is only a regrowth of cut or damaged parts. Then comes budding. In budding, in the case of budding also, in those organisms also there are the presence of regenerative cells. The regenerative cells are proliferating, forming bud and later forming new individuals. So about single organisms, about these types of reproductions are mentioned there. Then comes vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation. In the first part, they are telling the importance or the advantages of vegetative propagation. So, my dear children, you have to go through that paragraph. Advantages of vegetative propagation. Then different organisms are given. Bryophylla. The reproduction takes place from leaf margin when the mature leaves falls in the soil. Spore formation. Bread mold. Example is given bread mold or rhizopus. And here, my dear children, you have to identify the parts of rhizopus. In textbook, the picture is given. You have to identify the parts. Spores are already labeled in your figure. Sporangium. Sporangium is the bag-like structure which carries spores. Then rhizoids. Rhizoids are the root-like structures which penetrate into the substratum. Rhizoids and hyphae. Hyphae are the structures which are seen above the substratum. These parts should be identified. Okay, in your figure, you have to identify these parts also. Then, after that, with sexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, you have to give much importance for germination. Sexual reproduction in the topic parts of flower is given that you know already, simple topic. Unisexual, bisexual flowers. Pollination, types of pollination, self-pollination and cross-pollination. Go through that. Then the last part is process of fertilization. Process of fertilization, one figure is already given in textbook, and in the figure you have to identify the parts and identify the paths through which pollen tube travels and finally reaches in the ovary. My dear children, identify the path through which pollen tube travels and finally reaches in the ovary. Then after fertilization, what happens to a flower? That is also given in the last paragraph of that topic. It's important. What happens to ovary? What happens to ovule? Then what happens to other parts of a flower? So that also you have to go through. Then parts of a seed. Parts of a seed, cotyledons, radicle, plumule. With the picture, it is very clearly given in textbook. Then comes human reproduction. In human reproduction, I'm going some fast because there is a limit of time, that's why. So you may have to listen properly. Then human reproduction, parts of male reproductive system and parts of female reproductive system. In the case of male reproductive system, you have to identify the parts and role of seminal vesicle and prostate gland. Role of seminal vesicle and prostate gland. They produce a secretion which nourish the sperm and helps in lubrication, also works as a lubricant. Lubrication helps for lubrication. Then female reproductive system parts. Then passage of sperms. After the production, the sperms enter into vas deferens, then reaches in urethra. And in between, meeting with the secretions of seminal vesicle and prostate glands. Passage of sperms is important. Passage of sperms. Then male reproductive system and its parts. Importance of placenta. Importance of placenta. Placenta, much importance. So that also you have to note down. Then STDs. STDs means sexually transmitted diseases. Methods of prevention. How can we prevent different types of sexually transmitted diseases? Methods of prevention. So here people adopt different methods to prevent STDs. But you have to note down that all these methods will not prevent sexually transmitted diseases. People adopt different methods for avoiding pregnancy and all. So there you have to identify. Many methods are preventing pregnancy, but still some methods cause the transmission of STDs. Not all methods. Okay, so identify the methods. Then population growth. what are the reasons for adopting contraceptive methods? So these contraceptive methods people adopt, and there are different reasons. So these are the topics included in our first chapter. It means in how do organisms reproduce. I think in textbook it is chapter 8. Then comes heredity and evolution. In heredity and evolution, the first part is evolution. Here, the creation of variations promotes survival. Survival, it's important. Variation is important for survival. And these variations may happen by different reasons, by the effect of environment and also by mutation. Mutation means a sudden hereditary changes which take place in an organism. So the creation of variation promotes survival. Then there in textbook, they gave some examples related to some bacteria and all. Okay, just to go through that. Then comes heredity, Mendelian laws. Rules for the inheritance of traits. And here in this topic, they are asking some tricky questions. So to avoid confusion, you have to refer the questions 2-3 times. Just simply if you read, you may be confused or you may think that it is very difficult to attend. But if you read 2 or 3 times, you can understand that nothing is there in the question. It is very simple question, and so that you can answer it in proper way. And here in the question, they are including number of organisms produced. It means 600 pea plants are produced. Among these 600 pea plants, how many will be hybrid type? How many will be with only with the dominant character? How many will be with the recessive character? Like that questions they are asking. So here, what you have to do is this: the total number you have to divide. Our ratio is 3:1. Our ratio, phenotypic ratio. This type of question usually they are asking in monohybrid cross. So you have to divide it by 4. If it is 600, you have to divide by 4. Then 25% genotypic ratio considering means 1:2:1, and phenotypic ratio considering means 3:1, you know. Then in 3:1, the first 75%, in the number 75% will be one category. Then 25% will be the other category. So that students can cross-check the numbers. Out of 100, 3:1, number of organisms 3. Out of 100, 3 means according to that number you have to divide. Then 1:2:1. In that 1:2:1, first one 25%, then 2, next 50%, then last one, next 25%, so that it will be easy for you to identify. Then dihybrid cross. In dihybrid cross, at a time he considered 2 characters. So based on that, according to the question, read the question properly, then try to attend. It will be very easy to you. Then dominant character and the recessive character. While selecting that character, you should be careful. To express dominant character, always we use capital letters. And to express recessive character, always we use a small letter. That also you have to go through. Then mental selected garden pea plant. It means Pisum sativum. Pisum sativum, botanical name, scientific name of the plant. Then why he selected that plant? The reasons are also given in the textbook. Go through that. Then if you are going through all these parts, it will be clear to you. So last reading, you have to give much importance. Then in the last part of the topic, sex determination, the determination of sex, then movement of chromosomes, then female child and male child. So that also important. Just go through that. Then our environment. Our environment in the chapter, the first part is not that much important, because rarely only questions are from that part. They're biodegradable substances. I think it's very easy. That's why maybe. Then ecosystem, natural ecosystem, artificial ecosystem, then food chain. Most of the questions are from that area, food chains and food webs. And here in food chain, trophic levels are given. And in each trophic level, there will be flow of energy. So the questions they are asking from that part. The movement of energy, then the second trophic level got that much energy, means what will be the energy in the first trophic level, what may be the quantity of energy in the third or fourth trophic level, like that questions you can expect. Yes. Then ozone layer and its damage. So if you are going through all these topics once again, give a concentration in all these topics, and once again go through these topics, no doubt you can score full marks from biology session. Okay, my dear children. Then anything else? Sir, Naufal sir?
They are asking some doubts, if any. If there are any doubts, you may attend, ma'am.
My dear children, more questions you have to solve from heredity part. Sample papers you have to collect. Then more questions you have to solve from heredity part. I think they are in that part, they are asking many tricky questions. Though it is a small topic, much importance is for that topic.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon, madam.
Yeah, good afternoon.
I have a doubt. Hello.
Hello.
Is the evolution portion is skipped?
Yeah, only first part you have to study. It means the basic concepts of evolution. Evolution, no need to study. Heredity part only you have to study. Heredity part, it means the page numbers, I will say, 1 minute. Sex determination is there, no? Sex determination, including that. From evolution, no need to study. From evolution, no need to study, including sex determination.
Okay. Thank you.
Page number 146. Up to there.
Ma'am.
That chapter.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I have a doubt. Ma'am, is double fertilization and triple fertilization same?
That is beyond your syllabus. Such type of questions, they are not giving importance in 10th standard.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Then, ma'am, in hereditary chapter, acquired traits and inherited traits, right? Should we learn that?
Inheritance of characters in the first part. There comes variation, creation of variation. And there they give
I saw some questions related to acquired traits and inherited traits. That's why I asked.
No, that no need. That is from evolution topic now. Acquired inheritance and inherited traits, that is from evolution topic. That is deleted.
Okay, thank you so much.
9.24, sex determination.
Diagram.
Many important things are deleted from that chapter. And also many confused things are deleted. So it's easy for you to score full marks.
Madam, what about our environment?
Our environment you have to study. Full chapter you have to study. It's very simple now.
Yes.
It's very simple. You can study. Very simple chapter. Important diagrams. Most of the diagrams are important. And here, not many complicated diagrams, isn't it? Binary fission in amoeba, multiple fission. Sometimes they will give diagrams and you have to identify the pictures or you have to identify the parts. Then bryophyllum, spore formation. Here in all these cases, they are giving diagram and ask you to identify the figure. Fertilization, germination of pollen. Germination of pollen grains. That diagram you have to study properly. Sometimes they may ask to draw and identify the parts. Parts of a flower. It's very simple. We are studying from lower classes, isn't it?
Ma'am, so asexual model reproduction in those figures won't be asked to draw.
Most probably may not be, but still you have to refer.
Yes, ma'am.
Very simple, no? You are in 10th standard. So just by referring, just by going through once or twice, you can clear the diagrams. Here comes the only two complicated diagrams, that is germination and parts of flower. And then reproductive system structure, human and female reproductive structure, identify the parts. That much only, no diagram. No other diagrams. Then in heredity chapter, no diagrams, only that crossing. And that crossing is only with the letters. Then in environment chapter also only that energy level diagrams. That most probably it might be giving and asking you to analyze it.
Thank you, Miss.
Okay.
I think we
Thank
can move
you.
to the next.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
It's okay. It's okay. Thank you.
Miss, any diagram drawing questions will be there in exam?
You can expect diagrams maybe. So now just
Okay,
we
miss.
discuss. No? Okay, sir. Naufal, sir.
Yes, over to chemistry, ma'am, please. Hello, ma'am, chemistry. Yes.
Hello, good afternoon, dears. Sorry for the interruption. Again, we are just moving into the chemistry topics. Hello, am I audible? Yes?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay, we just the last time we were just discuss about how to solving the question papers, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
While you are solving the sample papers, I just told that don't, if you are not getting time, don't try to solve it completely. At least you just go through the questions. Okay, go through the questions and find out the areas from that questions are comes and focus on that areas. Okay, then at the same time, I just want to tell you that if you are going with the sample papers and if you are taking help from your other books and all, don't look for any new books or new supplementary books or any other guide.
Hello, ma'am.
Ma'am, you are not audible. Hello, ma'am. We can't hear you.
Hello, ma'am.
Ready? Yes. Am I audible now? Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Audible.
Okay. So sorry to again that some network issues here. So don't worry that if some interruption is again in your life, definitely the upcoming steps will be definitely easy one. That means that your chemistry exam will definitely easy for that. So we are moving to our topics. What I'm saying that don't say no to new books. Okay. That means that you have your NCERT books with you. That is a full-fledged books with you. No other materials you needed because CBSE is completely based on your NCERT books or NCERT syllabuses. So the book is enough. Then apart from that, if you are following any extra books and all, you can follow that one. No issue in that. But don't take any new books now in this last minute of time. That's I want to tell you. Already if your practiced book is with you, no issue in that one. You can go with that. But the previous section, I saw that the peoples are very much tense about the deleted topics. Why, my dears, you are worried about the deleted topics, or why you are very concentrate much more on that? The topics are existing for you that you learn best. Okay. Don't much more concentrate on the deleted topics. Okay, then apart from that, in our books, we have the deleted topics, especially from the carbon and its compounds. Okay, carbon and its compounds, which is the deleted portions from the nomenclature onwards. Okay, but by the way, when we are doing some of the draw the electron dot structure of ethane, draw the electron dot structure of hexane, draw the electron dot structure of some other ethanoic acid or acetic acid. If the question comes that students are having a doubt that this is a nomenclature, no, it's a deleted portion, then why you are asking so? Do you think like that? But clear cut, I say that no question comes that giving a structure and write the nomenclature of the organic compound. No such question is come into the question paper. Only sometimes they are asking that draw the electron dot structure of methane, draw the electron dot structure of ethane. Then how could you understand ethane? How many carbon atoms are there? Whether it is containing a single bond or double bond? How it is able to find out? No, it is easy, no? Yes, it is easy. You studied that. For one carbon compound, what is the name we are giving as a prefix? One carbon, meth. Two carbon. Okay, lost the connection. Eth. Very good.
Eth.
Three carbon. Proper. Bute.
Yes. Pent. Hex.
Pent. Hex. Hept. Oct. Non. Det. Likewise, it up to 10 it is enough for to get the electron dot structure, isn't it? Then ethane means what is the last suffix? A-N-E is comes, isn't it? A-N-E. A-N-E means what? It is similar.
Single bond.
Yes, very good. It's a single bond. If it is E-N-E, what is it?
Double bond.
Yeah, very good. Double bond. Then what we are dealing about the triple bond?
Y-N-E.
Yes, very good. Y-N-E. So it is easy to get the name and to draw the electron dot structure, isn't it? Okay, then one more thing I just tell you that in this time you just skip on some of the important topics of your 2 chapter carbon and its compounds and periodic classifications. Okay, meanwhile when you are going through this topics or contents, I just give you the important topics. Okay, then while you are studying, maybe already you studied the chapters periodic tables, carbon and its compounds. Just connect your ideas in the form of a mnemonics, in form of some other word short forms. Then it is easy to recognize or easy to memorize that things and all. In the periodic classification, the very important question is that you have to find out which is the element from this group or when they are giving an electronic 282. If they are giving 282, you have to find out the electrons belongs to which group and which period and which is that element. 282. If some questions comes like that, you have to know correctly in the order the elements present in the periodic table. At least you have to know 2 periods and 2 groups, and from 13th to 18th groups you should know, isn't it? So I'm just giving you fun trick to know about the first 2 periods. You just, when you see me, you just tell me hi, isn't it? Then what I'm replying you? Hello, isn't it? So I'm just telling you to listen the BBC news on Friday. Friday BBC news, I just tell you to listen. So you just look on the sentence. Hi, hello, listen, BBC news on Friday. Is it visible in this screen? That mnemonics. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, very good.
Yes.
Then you just look. The first
Madam,
yes, dear.
can you explain that science, carbon and compounds deleted portion? That was not clear.
Yes, definitely, dear. The next topic I am going to tell about the deleted portions and the topics in details also. Don't worry, just come with me. Now I am just come with the mnemonics. Okay. Here from this 2 periods, definitely you will get from this word. Hi, hello means the first period. How many elements consisting in the first period? How many elements? 2 elements, isn't it? Hydrogen and helium. That is definitely hide in the sentence. Hi and hello. Hydrogen and helium. Then listen. The second period I am going to tell you. From second period, you know that lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, and neon is there in the second period. If you want to get these elements without their order incorrect, So just look that. Listen. Li is lithium. BBC news. B means beryllium. The next B is belongs to boron. Then carbon. N means it is nitrogen. Then on consisting of oxygen. It for oxygen. Then F for fluorine. Okay. The next one, it is a noble gas, neon. Then likewise, you just come across the another mnemonics also. First group, which are the first group elements? Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. Isn't it? Then are you able to get this without any mistakes? You just look the mnemonics word. Hi, Linac, rubidium, close friend. You definitely have your close friend now. Here, Lina, the girl, the best friend is rubidium. Who is the best friend? Rubidium. So just click that sentence in your mind. Linac, rubidium, close friend. Then from that sentence, definitely get the first group element. Hydrogen, Linac, lithium, sodium, potassium. Then rubidium. Then close friend, rubidium. Then cesium. I just colored that one. Carbon, sorry, C and S in the close. CS. Okay, cesium. Then francium, Fr. Then you studied the Mendeleev's periodic table now. Mendeleev periodic table, which is known as periodic table. Whether Mendeleev's periodic table or Moseley's periodic table, which is the modern periodic table. We are all now in the modern world. Who is the modern? Moseley. Yeah, Moseley is definitely. Then before that, you studied about the Mendeleev's periodic table, and Mendeleev has left some gaps in the periodic table. Do you know that one? Yes, some question may comes like that. Which are the elements are likewise if it is asking. Do you know which are the elements? Eka boron, Eka aluminium, Eka silicon. And they may be asking.
Eka gallium, germanium.
Eka gallium, Eka aluminium. Okay. Eka aluminium, Eka silicon, and Eka boron. Then which is known as Eka boron? Which is Eka boron and Eka aluminium and Eka silicon? Which is that elements? In the Moseley's periodic table, all these elements we can see that. But in Mendeleev's periodic table, there is some gaps are present. But Mendeleev has predicted that in the future, some elements are is going to discover it's having some other physical properties. Some elements are given, isn't it? You just go through this mnemonics. A boy name is Baputi. Okay, this Baputi the Aliaka Gulf. Okay. വരുന്ന സമയത്ത് ന്യൂ ട്രെൻഡോ ആൻഡ് അളിയാക്കാനോട് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു വരുമ്പോ എനിക്ക് എന്ത് കൊണ്ടുവരണം, ഐഫോൺ കൊണ്ടുവരണം എന്ന്. പക്ഷെ അളിയാക്ക പാവ ഐഫോൺ ഒന്നും കൊണ്ടുവന്നിട്ടില്ല. അപ്പൊ ബാപ്പുട്ടി സ്കൂളിക്ക് പോയ സമയത്ത് അളിയാക്ക എന്താണ് ഗൾഫിൽ നിന്ന് വരികയാണ്. ഓക്കെ, സോ കണക്ട് ദാറ്റ് വൺ. ബാപ്പുട്ടി സ്കൂളിക്ക് പോയപ്പോൾ അളിയാക്ക ഗൾഫിൽ നിന്ന് വന്നു. ഓക്കെ, വന്നപ്പോ ഐഫോൺ ആണോ കൊണ്ടുവന്നത്? നോ. എന്താ കൊണ്ടുവന്നത്? സിൽക്കും ജെംസ് മുട്ടായിയാണ് കൊണ്ടുവന്നത്. ഗെറ്റ് മീ? Okay, one story മനസ്സിലുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ it is easy to connect which is Eka boron and which is Eka aluminium. You listen, Baputti's B belongs to Eka boron. Schooliki boy, the first two letters SC. That's for which is that one? Scandium. So Eka boron is scandium. You just please connect that. Sometimes my question is asking which is Eka boron and what is Eka aluminium. What is the properties? Clearly given in the textbook the properties of the Eka aluminium and the gallium also. So aluminium and gallium. I just colored that elements. Then silicon and germanium. Eka silicon means it is Je germanium. Okay, clear now? So likewise, if you just have a mnemonics already with you, you just take it as again. If you don't have, don't take it. Don't try to go with any new mnemonics and all in this last minute. It will be confused. Okay, in the exam hall, you maybe think about only the mnemonics. Then going with another one, our sample paper. That normally we have 80 marks of papers the last time before the last years and all like that. Now the mark is reduced to 40. But the time is not reduced, isn't it? Last time it's like 3-hour exam. Now it is you have 2-hour exam. Is not 1.5 hours, isn't it? So that means half hours you get extra. Then another question is that science code is given there. Then your maximum mark is there. In general instruction, it is given that all questions are compulsory. At the same time, the fourth instruction is what is that? internal choices have been provided in some question, and a student has to attempt only one of the alternatives. That is important one. All questions are compulsory. A questions or questions don't supposed to answer. That is what the fourth instruction. Internal choices are given. Likewise, if a ninth question having two options A, B, then or question that is also having A, B options are there. So you have to supposed to answer first A, B or second A, B. Okay, anyone. That is or question. That is internal choices are given meant by this one. Then apart from that, you are not supposed to answer if you know that 9A question, how many isomers are possible, that question. And in the second B question, no, give the molecular formula of any two homolog of A. The two questions. If you know the A question of the first one and the B question of the second one, don't suppose to write like that. You will not get the mark. You are getting only the first part's marks only. Okay, so if you are answering the first one, you answer A and B or the first section, or question A and B you have to answer. Okay, then I'm just going with the sample papers. So many other extra sample papers you may have. The amazing your teachers may be shared for that. Anyway, the most of the question paper I just saw that first two questions are coming from chemistry. Total 10 marks are there. First two questions are from the chemistry section. Then 2 mark question. Then after that, 8th question and 9th one. 8th and the 9th question are for the 8th one and the 9th question is a next section B. In the section B, 8th and 9th question are for the chemistry for 3 mark and 3 mark. Okay. It's okay now about the marks and the question. Hello.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Then we are next going to go through the important topics in your carbonyl compounds and the deleted portions also. I am just telling you. The first you studied about the carbonyl compound, covalent compounds, isn't it? In the covalent compounds, the very important area is that covalent compounds. Why the covalent compound? Carbon forming covalent compounds. Why carbon forming covalent bond? Because sharing is happening, isn't it? Important question. Carbon forming, only sharing is, that is why it is forming covalent compounds. Other compound, then difference between ionic and covalent compound. That means their physical properties. In physical properties, 2-3 times it's asked that covalent compounds physical properties. What about their melting point and boiling point? Whether they having high melting point or low melting point compared to the ionic bond. They having definitely low melting point and boiling point because of their very weak attractive forces. Then what about the next physical property? We are telling about their conductivity. What about covalent compound? Whether they are conductors or bad conductors? Conductors or non-conductors? Hello?
Conductors.
Yes, they are non-conducting because of what? That is a question. Why they are not conducting electricity? They are bad conductors. Why? Because they are not producing any
Ma'am, they are not producing any
ions.
ions.
Yes, very good. Yes. Hello? Because they are not producing any ions, that is why they are non-conductors. I mean, they are bad conductors. Then another important one is that carbon is forming long chain compounds. Why carbon is forming long chain compound? Because of the properties called
Catenation.
and a tetravalence. Very important question it is. Versatile nature of carbon in that area. You studied about that. Why carbon forming large number of compounds? So many times questions are comes for 1 mark. The tetravalency and catenation. 1 mark means half it is split the mark. Okay. If you are writing tetravalency only, you will getting only half mark. Catenation, if you written only, you will get half mark. Together you write, then you will score the 1 mark. So important question, carbon forming large number of compound. The reason is tetravalency and catenation. The next one, it is very important area, electron dot structure. I hope that the teachers are maybe discussed. It's very detailed how to make an electron dot structure of the compounds. And apart from that, in this cases, electron dot structure, you know the valency of carbon is 4 is the valency. So around the carbon atom, you should have 4 bond. Okay, that you have to ensure that whether the 4 bond or the 4 valency are satisfied by the carbon. Okay, so in order to draw this one, you have to know the valence electrons. Don't for carbon. How many electrons are present in carbon? How many electrons? 6 electrons are present in a one carbon atom, that is atomic number, but you are not supposed to dot all the 6 electrons around a single carbon atom. You have to draw only the valence electron. That's what you have to move importance, this electron dot structure. Okay, I'm just telling only the important area, which are the areas you are making mistakes only, not going to detailed description of the topics. If you need any topics that you want to explain, I will explain the last. Okay, so while doing electron dot structure, concentrate on the valence electrons. The another topics, allotropes of carbon are there, hydrocarbons, saturated and unsaturated compounds. Saturated compound already you know it is single bond compounds or alkanes. Then unsaturated compound is double bond and triple bond compound. In this area, the question coming is that they may be giving a so many molecules, C5H10, C4H8, likewise C6H12, so many molecular formula of the hydrocarbons they will give you. And among that one, you have to pick out the which is the saturated compound, which is unsaturated compound. Question may comes like that. I hope that you may go through such questions in your question paper, isn't it? Many molecular formula they may given. Among that, you have to find out which are the saturated compounds. How we are going to find out the saturated compounds if a question comes like that? You know the formula of a saturated and unsaturated compound, isn't it? Saturated compound, what is the general formula? CnH2n plus 2, isn't it? Then you just count the carbon atom. N means number of carbon atom, isn't it? Hello, dears. Are you okay with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then saturated compound. Then unsaturated compound. How you get the general formula of unsaturated compound? Or which are the unsaturated carbons?
Alkene and alkyne.
Very good. Alkenes and alkynes. You know the formula. CnH2n is for the alkene and CnH2n minus 2 for the alkynes, isn't it? So you just give the number of carbon atoms to n. Then what you have to get the number of hydrogen atom. So that order you just take from the molecules and then go with that answer. Clear? Then another important one, it is a structural isomers. Very important area, structural isomers. Meanwhile, I just tell you that when you are going with the structural isomers, if an alkane is given, don't write, if a 5-membered alkane is given, don't connect it with a cyclopentane. Okay, it's also an alkane, but it's a cyclic hydrocarbon. Two are different. Okay, normal alkanes and cyclic alkanes and their formulas entirely different. If you are getting pentane, you are supposed to draw only the open structures, not the cyclic structures. Not cyclopentane is the not belongs to the isomers. But alkenes and if you are getting propene, okay, propene writing and it's cyclopropane. Both are isomers, but open structure is not. So while getting the structural isomers, first you draw, it's very easy to draw. First you draw a open structure, a single bonded, correct a long chain bond you draw. The next you make a 1 branch. Okay. Then second structure you make a 2 branch. That is idea. Okay. So first you make a compound without any branch. Then second isomer you make a compound with 1 branch. In that time you reduce the long chain. Okay, if it is a 5 carbon with a straight chain, the next step, it should be a 4 carbon with 1 branch. The next step, it should be a 3 carbon with 2 branches. Clear? Some other tricks that the teachers may tell in that if first carbon, you are not supposed to put any branches. Okay, first carbon, you are not supposed to put any branches. It is considered as a part of the long chain. Get me? So some students, sometimes there may be a tendency, second carbon, the first carbon, or molecule, they are writing CH3. They believe that it is a branch. It is not the branch. It is a part of the long chain. Clear? Then functional group, another important one is a functional group. Already you know that alcohols, acids, aldehydes, then fluorine, chlorine, halo compounds and ketonic groups is the. Then next one, it is the homologous series. Homologous series also you know that. Then tell me, just want to tell you the error you are making in the homologous series. Okay, and the functional group when you are writing where you are making the errors. You know that carboxylic acid means it is C double bond OH. Are you okay to see on the screen now? I just given the tick mark and cross mark. You just see, okay. Sometimes you may have such types of practices. COOH, that is carboxylic acid, isn't it? Then while you are writing C double bond O, the second column you look, there I am putting cross mark. C double bond O, again bond O, again bond H, COOH. In that maybe you written. So many I saw that students are committing such types of mistakes. So this is wrong actually. The first one it is correct. From the C double bond O is going and again the single bond is gone with the oxygen. Carbon oxygen bond is that. Okay, then next oxygen and hydrogen there is a bond existing again. Okay, that is a correct method of writing functional group. Okay, so when you are writing the functional group, don't make these types of mistakes. Then homologous series. Again, in the homologous series, you already know that the adjacent members having a CH2 group different, they're having a 14 unified mass of difference. Likewise, all these things you know. The mistakes you are going to make is that, the question is like that coming that, the given organic compound, the functional group is alcoholic functional group is present. You make the first member, then second member and third member. Likewise, you make. Question if it is come, normally what you are doing, alcoholic group. Now, the method of writing homologous series is that first you find out the functional group among that. Alcoholic group already they are given in the question paper. So you writing OH. Okay, OH you are writing. The next step is what is that OH oxygen is connecting with what? Carbon. Okay, carbon is connecting. Homologous series means the first member it should containing one carbon atom. Okay, that is the criteria. First member, one carbon atom. So OH you are connecting with the carbon. Then the valency of the carbon is satisfied. CH3OH, first member of the alcohol series you get it. The next member, how we are getting the next member? You are just adding CH2 in between the carbon and the OH. Then you are getting the next member. Only CH2 difference likewise is going. But when you are writing a carboxylic acid, question is containing a carboxylic acid, write the first member. How we are going to write? There you are making the mistake. You are writing COH. It is connecting with another carbon. It is wrong. Okay, already COH group having what? Carbon is present. Already one carbon is there. So you just connect it with what? Hydrogen. That is the second one I wrote here. The homologous series second HCOH, formic acid or methanoic acid. That is the correct word. HCOH. Don't write CH2COH. First an acetic acid is not coming in the homologous series. Then likewise in the aldehyde group also. CHO in the functional group itself containing carbon. So you should connect it with the hydrogen only, not with the carbon. Okay, so in the exam tension and all, you maybe have a concept that functional group writing connect with the carbon. So don't suppose to do like that in the case of acids and aldehydes. Then moving into the another functional group, C double bond O, ketone. Ketone functional group homologous series is not nothing but it is starting with one carbon, two carbon. It is starting with a 3 carbon. Okay, that is the first one. Acetone is the first ketone homologous series, the first member. I hope this is clear. Okay, I'm just going with some of the errors you are going to make in the exam hall. Okay, in the hurry and all, you may have some type of practices. In order to avoid, I'll just telling you. If you need any topics to detail, I will explain you. Moving into the another, then again, in the carbonatics compound, the remaining topics from after homologous series, nomenclature and the reactions, all the things are deleted portions. Don't bother about it. Up to homologous series, you study. From homologous series, and definitely you can expect the questions. Okay, homologous series. Then periodic classifications and element, the second chapter, we already know about what is the Drober-Inner triads, Newland's law of octaves, then Mendeleev's periodic table. Already we discussed about the gaps present in the Mendeleev's periodic table. And so you know that Mendeleev also given the base or giving a strong base to make a new periodic table. Then meanwhile, you can see that Mendeleev's given importance to atomic mass. Apart from that, the physical and chemical properties of the oxides and hydrides. That is a definite question. That is the make the hydrides, make the, if an element is come from the 16th group or 15th group, it is write the formula of the oxides, write the formula of the hydrides, write the formula of the fluorides. That is a practicing time you may go on with that such questions, isn't it? This is an important question. It is oxide formula, hydride formula, fluoride formula. So in that Mendeleev's periodic table on the top also they're given the general formula of the oxides and hydrides and all. It is quite easy to study anyway, but if you are not studying it's not a problem. If you know the group and the valency of the element belongs, definitely you know the group and the valency, because in the question itself they may going to giving you the given element is present in the 15th group and write the formula of an oxide. Important question it is, write the formula of the oxide. Then how we are going to write the formula of the oxide? You know that oxides means it is belongs to the oxygen family, or 16th group, isn't it? 16th group means what is the valency? Here in this column, I just clearly tell about the valency. If you don't know how to look the valency and all, this last minute don't bother about, just do this one. First group, what is the valency? 1. Second group, 2. 13th group only we are discussing. 2 to 12th groups are the, you're not supposed to study now. This is D block element. First group, second group. After that, 13th to 18th. That is a representative group members are representative elements. Question paper, they may be asked sometimes. There is a periodic table question. Draw the representative elements. Only go through the representative elements means you write only first group, second group. After that, 13th group to 18th group. Okay, second you are not supposed to write third group. This is another mistake you are going to do in the exam hall. Don't third group, it is 13th group. Okay, so 13th group element, then 16th group oxygen. How we are going to make a oxides? 16th group B element on the question. Then second group element is A, already given. What you have to write? First you write second group, then next you write the 16th group. Okay, A and B. Write the valency. A belongs to second group, so the valency is 2. In the column it is there. If you don't know, you just write it down. Then already the teachers are given A having 2 is a valency, B having again 16th group also valency is 2. Just cross it. Cross the number, that is A getting this 2 and B getting the first 2. A2, B2 is a formula. We can just minimize into A and B. A, B. Okay, with this become 2, you can cut it and A, B, you will get the general formula of the compounds. Very easy. So from this box, if any of the groups are coming, 14th group or 17th group or fluoride 17th group, then oxides 16th group. A group only if you know and the valency, study this column, it is easy, will definitely help you in the exam hall. Okay, to draw the the compound, molecular formula of the compound. Then modern periodic table, already you know the modern periodic table, position, groups and periods. How many periods? 7 periods and 18 groups are there. From the electronic configuration, how we are going to find out the element? That is another question. So for that, you just know only these things. First group, second group, 13th to 18th group. It is easy to know this electronic configuration. First period consisting of hydrogen and helium. Mostly they are given from the second periods only. Second period means it is containing 2 shells. Second period means how many shells? 2 shells. Okay, so I am just giving here the second shell. First group second shell 2, 1 means it is belongs to the second period. Okay, 2 shells, second period. What is the valence electron? 1. That means it is belongs to the first group. Okay, 2,1. 2 shells are there. So it is second period, and 1 is a valence electron. So it is belongs to first group. Okay. So likewise, this is going. And trends in a modern periodic table is another one. Trends in the modern periodic table. Okay, so trends is very important one. The first 3 group, 1, 2 and 13th, up to that 13th group, you know the valence is 1, 2 and 3. That means they are losing their electron. They lose the electron mean what their property? They having the metallic property and ionic nature, and they are electropositive. Then the central element, 14th group, they are belongs to covalent bond. They are sharing the electron and they belongs to the covalent bond. Then 15, 16, 17, up to that, they are having the tendency to gain the electron. So they are having non-metals are very electronegative in nature. So the very important area, the modern periodic table, trends in the modern periodic table, valency, metallic property, electropositivity and electronegative characterism, all these are, and atomic size also. Number of shells are increasing, their atomic size also increasing. From left to right, the shell number is not increasing, but their size is decreasing. Top to bottom, atomic size is increasing. All these trends are very important. Okay, clear about these concepts and the common errors you are making, and some other topics. If you have any other doubts, you can just ask now. If you need any topics to explain, close. Any doubt? I hope that most of the topics I just gone through now. Do you have any doubt from the chemistry section or any other queries? If you have, you can free to ask. Otherwise, I just move to our physics faculty. He is here. Please ask me your doubt. Any function? No functional group deleted. No. No, from the nomenclature parts only the deleted. Functional groups are not deleted here. Yes, it is hydrogenation parts are not deleted. No functional group deleted. Yes, addition, reaction, hydrogenation is deleted portion here. From nomenclature onwards, the portions are deleted. Up to homologous series only you have to study. Up to homologous series. Okay, fine. From modern periodic table, first 3 periods you study. Okay, at least first 3 periods. And group wise also 3 elements you study. Don't study complete this last time. You're not having any time to study all these elements. At least hydrogen, helium, and the first period lithium, and the second period sodium, potassium. Up to that one, to noble gas you study. Okay, that much is enough. And the group wise, first group, second group, 3 elements each. You just go with that. That is enough. Yes, definitely you have to learn what is structural isomers of alkenes. Alkenes, you can write the structural isomers. Isomers means they're having the same molecular formula, but they have to get different structures. A pentane means it is C5H12. Okay, 5 carbon atoms and 12 hydrogens are there that you can arrange in a single bond. First 5 carbon atom. Okay, 5 carbon atom and its corresponding hydrogen atom you can add. Then next, that is the first isomer, C5H12, first isomer. The second isomer, what you have to do, that long chain number you just reduce into 4. Okay, for the one extra carbon, you make it as a branch. Okay, so that is also the same molecular formula, C5H12. Then the next isomer, you make it as 4, just reduce into 3. Yes, you studied butane and pentane. Apart from that, if Cbse ask any other questions, it is application level question is that it is a general idea that you have to write the isomers. The general idea is that isomers having same molecular formula, but according to your cognitive level and all, you can arrange that, give different structures. That's what, okay. If butane and pentane only given, not supposed to stick on that one. Anyway, you studied up to that, it is enough only. That only come, okay. Best luck. Okay, alkane you studied. I'm just giving you, if any extra questions coming, alkenes just only, no change in that one. Okay, alkanes means single bond, alkenes means double bond. That's only. Periodic classifications of element, nothing is deleted, everything is there, dear. Yes, go with the yes, definitely limitations of Mendeleev's periodic tables. You have to go with that. Okay, can you explain? Yes, definitely explain. Yes, you know that in Mendeleev's periodic table is actually according to based on the increasing atomic masses, isn't it? When the way it is arranging in the increasing atomic masses, you heard about isotopes. Isotope means they're having same. Yes, tell me what is isotope? They're having isotope. Heard about isotope? They're having same atomic number. Okay, same atomic number, but they're having different mass number. So according to Mendeleev, suppose carbon or oxygen. Oxygen 16 is present, oxygen 18 is present. Okay, oxygen 16 and oxygen 18 different masses, personalities are. So Mendeleev's, according to Mendeleev, if the elements are arranging increasing atomic mass after oxygen 16, there should coming with oxygen 18 also. Oxygen 16 and oxygen 18 should be there in the periodic table. But there is no oxygen 18. Where is this oxygen 18? Or where we could accommodate these isotopes? That is one question. We have isotopes arrange. Hydrogen also 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1 and 1, 2. Such types of isotopes of hydrogen also existing. Different mass numbers, 3 different isotopes you studied. This isotope different mass number, where all these isomers we can accommodate. That is a question. That is the first limitations of the Mendeleev's, isn't it? So that is corrected by the Mendeleev. Sorry, mostly say that it is not according to atomic mass. It is according to atomic number. If it is atomic number, isotopes having same atomic number. So in that time, no need of such types of confusion. Another one where we place the position of hydrogen. Hydrogen having the properties of the first group. At the same time, it is having the properties of the 17th group elements also. So both having the properties, so where we could accommodate the position of hydrogen. That is another limitations. Then another one it is that Mendeleev's, another one is that if it is increasing order of atomic mass, if it is arranging cobalt and nickel, increasing atomic mass like cobalt and nickel, cobalt having the atomic mass 58.9, nickel having 58.7. So should come nickel first, after that only cobalt has to come, isn't it? But Mendeleev has to cross that one. First cobalt come, later only nickel come in order to get the same chemical properties. That is why he having some changes in the cobalt and nickel arrangements. That is also another limitation of Mendeleev's periodic table. Okay. Exercise questions I have to study. Okay. Any other doubts? Isotopes and isobars means isotope means they're having same atomic number, different mass number. On the other hand, that is same element. Okay. Same element having same atomic number with different mass number, that is isotope. Isobars means different element having different atomic number but same mass number. That is a difference of that is not there in your that types of questions and all not asking of an element in groups and period. How can we understand atomic size of an element in groups and periods? Okay, first group, second group element. Suppose second group elements having only 2 shells. That's what mean by second period elements only 2 shells. That is what meant by second periods. Okay, third period elements means it is containing 3 shells. Okay, that's what meant by 3 periods. So normally in the same group, if it is in the second period means 2 shells, third period means 3 shells. Okay, so normally 2-shell person or 3-shell person, which is more size? Definitely this 3-shell person. So from top to bottom, the size is increasing because of the shell number is increasing. Which is the real electron dot structure? There was 2. Cross and dot you can use. No problem. In textbook, it is supposed to be cross for and dot also. You go with that. No problem. Okay. Any other doubts? Which is the most important topic? Most important topics, we cannot say that homologous series is very important topic. Functional group, write the function, alcoholic group they will give you, write the 3rd member and 4th member. They may be, that is another thing you have to, important factor is that question may be like that. A given function organic compound containing COH acid is the functional group. Write the 3rd member and 4th member. If the question comes like that, you are not supposed to write the 1st member HCOH, CH3COH. That is not the question. 2 member you written that. Answer is over. Don't think like that. Yes, we can move to physics. This is the last one. Okay. So 3rd and 4th you have to. Okay, go with the 3rd and 4th. How the modern periodic remove various anomalies of Mendeleev's periodic table. Modern periodic table, the one only solution is that it is based on the atomic number. That is enough. Okay. Atomic number based, it is arranged. All other Dobriner, Newland and Mendeleev, all others are arranged the periodic table only on the basis of the atomic mass. But here the mostly as arranged in the basis of atomic number. That is erases all of the problems.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Any other doubts? If you have, you just text here. I will just give you the answers. Anyway, thank you all for your patient listen, and I hope that some of the things you get through my classes. Anyway, God bless you, and I hope that exams will be very, very easy for you. Study well, prepare well. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sinu ma'am, on behalf of
Thank you, ma'am.
Central Sahalia. Physics sir, please, you may begin. Latif sir, most welcome.
Hi dears, good afternoon to one another. So after a long discussion on biology and chemistry, I think anyway you are eagerly waiting for the last session, that is physics. Though it is coming at the last, but it is latest. Okay, so the genius people are waiting here for getting more and more updations here. Okay, so see children, now we are not going a long discussion, but we are going only through the topics and the important questions that we can expect. Okay. So this we will finish within 15 to 20 minutes. So be relaxed and be tuned here itself. Okay. So myself, Abdul Latif from ISS English Medium Senior Secondary School. So let us discuss the important topics. So we have 2 chapters. One is electricity and the magnetic effects of electric current. So these 2 chapters, big chapters, and from these two chapters you can expect 6 and 6 marks, so total 12 marks from physics part. So sometimes that may be 13 or 14. So let us go through this important topics from this chapter. Ohm's law. Ohm's law is the first topic of this chapter from the syllabus part. So this is the very basic of the chapter, electricity, and it is potential difference is directly proportional to current. I think all these basics you know. So what we are going to do here, it is how can the questions are asking from this part. Okay, so am I audible, children? And can you see my screen clearly?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So we know that ohmic resistors and non-ohmic resistors. So look at the diagram and can you say that which one of the following is an ohmic resistor?
A.
First one.
Yeah, first one is the
First
ohmic
one.
So you can expect one question from this one mark from this identification, and how you will identify or which law is connected with this one, like that you can expect. Okay. So look at the picture. The diagram A is representing the ohmic resistor, because here the voltage is increasing according to the current. Both are increasing simultaneously. Okay. So just go through these graphs only. Okay. So from the physics part, it is asking most probably from activity oriented questions. Okay. That means numerical, it is not so much coming, but it is coming. The diagrams are very, very important. Okay. So Ohm's law, just look upon the V and I diagram, and the first one represents the ohmic resistor. And the another model question from this part is Ohm's law. So you can expect 2 marks from Ohm's law, that part. Okay. So this is a voltage and current diagram of ABC. 3 conductors are given here. So my question is, from this part, which of the following has high resistance? That is the question. Anyone can say the answer. A, B, or C.
A.
Yeah. Why you select A?
Voltage is more.
Yeah, okay. So here the voltage is more and the current is less. So B by I, you will get a big value. So it has high resistance. R is equal to V by A. We can use that one. R is equal to V by A. Now look at the next one. See, from the Ohm's law part, the connection diagram is also very important. So you don't have to draw the diagram, but the thing is, the diagram may be given. A student is doing an experiment based on Ohm's law, and the diagram is given. So sometimes it may be given that the position of the voltmeter and ammeter may be interchangeable. Okay. So here the ammeter is connected in which direction? Is it in parallel or in series? Hello, DS?
Series.
Series. Okay. So here the important thing is meter should be always connected in series and voltmeter should be always connected in parallel. This is very, very important in this regard. Okay. So you can.
Sir,
yes.
Can you one more explain the VI graph?
VI graph. VI graph is actually a straight line that represents V is simultaneously increasing with respect to I. That means V is directly proportional to I. Since that is a basic, we are not leaving our time with that topic. Okay, that we will discuss at the last. Okay, don't worry. Okay, so since that is very simple, you can expect that diagram part you have to identify which one represents the ohmic resistor and another one is non-ohmic. Okay, so here look at this diagram. This diagram is important. You don't want to draw the diagram, but the diagram will be given in the question paper and you have to identify the mistake. Okay, see, the ammeter is connected here. It is in series and voltmeter is in parallel. So from the question you can expect this ammeter may be in the position of voltmeter and voltmeter in the position of ammeter. So, and also this direction, positive and negative terminal of the battery, that is also very important. Okay, so here the battery positive is connected to the positive of the ammeter. Am I right? And also the negative part is connected to the negative part of the voltmeter. So positive will be always connected to the positive and negative will be always connected to negative. So here the battery, this biggest one will represent which one? Positive or negative? Big part. In the case of a cell, the big part will represent positive. Okay. You are commenting in the comment box. Okay, fine. So this diagram is very important. Okay, just to go through this diagram and analyze where is the position of the ammeter and voltmeter. Then you can expect why ammeter is always connected in series. Anyone know the answer? If you know the answer, you can just expect. Why ammeter is always connected in series? Any answer? See children, ammeter is always connected in series because it has low resistance, very low resistance. So if it is connecting in parallel, we know that if it is connected in parallel, its resistance will be very, very less, so that the current will flow very large, so that the ammeter will be burned out. Okay. So just to understand, actually it is not in our syllabus. If the tester questions are coming from this part, you have to attend like that. Okay. So ammeter is always connected in series because it has high resistance. Then the important thing is series connection and parallel connection. These two things are very important in this chapter electricity. You can expect a 3-mark question from this section. Okay, so either the question is problem oriented question, and in the case of series connection, you know that the current will be same. That is the important thing in this regard. Current will be same and the total resistance or equivalent resistance will be sum of each of the resistors, R1 plus R. Suppose if there are 3 resistors, then the resistance, total resistance will be R1 plus R2 plus R3. So these are the basic concepts that you are already studied. We are only discussing the important questions only. Okay, so series and parallel connection, I think already you are familiar. Okay, so look at this circuit, series and parallel, both are coming in this diagram. So how you will find the total resistance in this regard? Can you just say here R1, R2, R3, 3 resistors are there. Then how you will find out the total resistance?
R2 and R3 are in parallel.
Yes, fine. So first of all, you will find out R2, R3 are in parallel. Then you will just add up with the R1, because during that time R1 is series with the R2 and R3. When we are first, you will find out R2, R3 in parallel, and then you will add R1. Okay, fine. So just look upon this question and you can say the answer, total resistance of this circuit.
9.
9 ohm, very good, fantastic. So you are very genius, I know that. Okay, you need only just a remind from this part. Actually, from the physics part, you are very brilliant, and you don't need any more explanation, I think, like so. So here 6 and 6, these R2 and R3 in parallel. So you will find out 1 by R, 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. Then you will just add with R1. Very good. So just to go through these kind of questions. Okay, you can expect this kind of question, 3-mark question from this part. So in the electricity chapter, you can expect 1 2-mark question and 1 3-mark question. 2-mark will be coming from Ohm's law, or it is coming from factors affecting resistance of a resistor, then or it is from Joule's law of heating. Okay, so these are the important topics in this chapter. From these 4 topics, you can expect 2-mark and 3-mark, total 5 or 6 mark. Okay, then look at over this diagram. This is somewhat an advanced question. So in order to find out the total resistance, how you will find out the total resistance? These are the model questions that we are already saw from the sample question papers. Okay, so look at this diagram. And can you say how you will calculate the total resistance in this figure? So don't think that 3-mark is very easy. You sometimes they may be asking very tough questions like this. And
R3 and R4 are series.
Yes. First of all, you had to do R3 and R4 are in series. Why are you not using R1 and R2 at the first time? Because see, these are important. R1 and R2 you are not considering at the first, because here there is a junction. Okay, R1 has a connection with R3, R1 has a connection with the R2. So there is a junction. So when that junction is coming, there will be a doubt whether it is in series or in parallel. So here when you are looking upon R3 and R4, see, these R3 and R4 are very clear that these two are in series. So you should add these two at the first. Okay, see children, in this case, why I am not calculating R1 plus R3 or R1 plus R2 at the first time? Because here there is a junction. So R1 has the connection with R3 and R2. So we are confused with whether it is in series or in parallel. So we will use R3 and R4 at the first, because these are in series, end-to-end connection. Okay, since this is in end-to-end connection, we will add 6 plus 4, you will get 10. Okay, when you are getting that 10, that resistance will be in the position of this R4, 10 ohm. So that 10 ohm and this R2 10 ohm will be in parallel. Okay, first of all, we will add R3 and R4, you will get 10 ohm. Then after that, you will add this 10 ohm when it is in parallel. This R2 and the new resistance will be in parallel. So you will get 1 by 10 plus 1 by 10, you have that, you will get it 2 by 10, then the total resistance will be 1 by R is equal to 2 by 10, therefore R is equal to 10 by 2, you will get 5. So here you will get a resistance as 5 ohm. Yes, very good, very good. Some people are responding in the comment box. Very good, very good. Then 7 and 5 will be again in series. So 7 plus 5, you will get 12 ohm. So these are the important questions that you can expect. If you don't know these kind of things, you can just ask your teachers and be thorough in this regard. Okay. So in the case of series and parallel connection, these kind of circuit diagrams are very important. Then if you are not understanding the series and parallel, it will be difficult. Okay, so this 3 mark you should ensure, that is your responsibility. Okay, then 2 mark question from the part is resistance of a wire R is equal to rho L by A. This equation you should by heart. This is very, very important. Here it indicates that when the length of a wire is increasing, its resistance will also increases. Yes, any doubt?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, how can we understand whether in a triangle it's a parallel or a series? A circuit like a triangle.
Yeah, in the case of a triangle, if it is there is no junction, then all the 3 will be in series. Okay. Suppose if there is a connection from the upper part and lower part, then if there is another connection, joining is there, then that means that this is another connection like that. Okay. So just to go through the YouTube and all series and parallel connection, there are plenty of problems based on this one. So 3 mark is sure. Actually, we cannot say 100%, but 90% sure from the part of series and parallel connection. Okay. Then another 2 mark question, either it is from Ohm's law or from resistance of a wire. Okay. So Ohm's law V is equal to IR, that equation should be thorough, and resistance of a wire R is equal to rho L by A. That is also very important. Either the question is to find out the resistance of a wire by giving length and area or numerical problem, or what will happen if the length of a wire is doubled, what will happen to the resistance, like that questions also may be coming. Okay. Then Joule's law of heating, H is equal to I square RT. This is also you can expect a 2 mark question from this part. H is equal to I square RT, heat generated, and its application is also very important. Can you say any 2 application of Joule's law of heating? You can expect the questions, not they are asking the direct questions, then they will ask like this. When Ramu is coming to his home, he noticed that the fuse is lost and the current electricity is not there. So can you guess what kind of problem is there and what kind of law is applied in that case? Like that you can expect. Okay, there will not be any direct question. Okay, so Joule's law of heating, any application? Hello, is there? Do you know any? Oh, okay. Electric heater is an example. Then
Toaster.
Electric fuse is very important in the case of Joule's law of heating. Okay. Then power consumed. So this power consumed, heating effect of electric current, resistance of a wire, Ohm's law. These 3 things you can expect any 2 mark question. Okay, or in the part of 3 mark question. So power consumed is given by P is equal to VI. That equation you have to by heart. Okay. P is equal to VI, P is equal to I square R, P is equal to V square by R. These 3 equations are important. Derivation is not important. Derivation will not ask, but the questions may be asked like this. Okay. In which of the following cases more electrical energy is consumed per hour? So this is a model question. Then a current of 1 ampere passed through a resistance of 300 ohms. Another one is a current of 2 ampere passed through a resistance of 100 ohms. So in which of the following cases more electric energy is consumed? This is the question from the part of power. Okay. So which equation you will use? Power is equal to work by time. No. See, power is equal to, what is the equation to find out power? See here, what is given in the question that you have to just note down. Here, what are the 2 factors given here? One is current and resistance. So which equation we will use to find out power?
VI.
V is not given. So which equation we will use to find out the power at the first here?
Q by I. Q by T, sorry.
See, actually Q is not coming in our syllabus. It is not discussing on charge. Okay? I is equal to Q by T is not in our syllabus. Okay. See, power is equal to VI is there, but in our question, voltage is not given. So look at the next equation. P is equal to I square R. I is given, resistance is also given. So you will use the equation I square R in this regard in order to find out power. Then we have to find out the electrical energy. So the equation to find out energy is energy is equal to
I square R.
Energy is equal to
into time.
Power into time. Energy is equal to
PT.
PT.
Into T, power into time. That is very important. Okay, 2 mark question you can expect. This is a 2 mark question. Okay, so first of all, you will find out the power in this question. P is equal to I square R. Then you will multiply it with the time. Time here given is per hour. So 1 hour is given. So 1 is the time. Then you will get I square R. I square R means here I is at the first case is 1 ampere and the resistance is 300. So 300 into 1, 300. I square means 1 square is 1. So you will get 300 as the power.
300.
Yes, 300 into 1, 300. In the second case, look at the second case. What about the energy? Yeah, 2 square is 4. So 4 into 100 you will get as 400. So energy consumed by the second case will be more compared to the first one. That is the answer. Okay. So in order to get that answer, you should know the equations. So what are the equations to find out the power? The important basic equation is P is equal to VI. From that equation, we can derive the second equation and third equation.
I square R.
V is equal to IR. So this is a model question from that topic power. Okay. So 2 mark question you can expect from power, then resistance of a wire, then heating effect, Joule's law of heating, then Ohm's law. Okay. 3 mark question you can expect from the part series and parallel connection. There may be a question in domestic circuit is actually not in our syllabus, but if it is asking which kind of connection we will prefer in our home,
Parallel.
Why it is you choosing? Why
Because different.
Okay, just to understand that if it is in parallel, even though if any one of the instrument is not working, that will not affect the rest of the instruments. Okay, suppose if it is series, if you are connecting electric heater, fridge, fan, etc. in series, if the refrigerator is not working, then rest of the 2 equipments will not work. But in the case of parallel connection, if any one of the instrument is not working, that will not affect the rest of the equipments. That is the important thing in the case of parallel connection. So we are preferring parallel connection in our domestic circuit, because even though if any one of the instrument is breakdown, that will not affect the entire circuit. Okay. Now we are just moving to the second chapter. So we just discussed about the first chapter, important questions and what from which area the important questions will come. In the second chapter, magnetic effects of electric current, the first topic is the magnetic field produced inside in the case of a straight conductor. Okay. So the magnetic field in the case of a straight conductor, how will it will be the pattern? Whether you are following me? Is it
Concentric circles?
Yes, concentric circles. So the question from this part will be, in order to find out the direction of the magnetic field when the current is passing through the straight conductor in the upward direction, what will be the direction? If the current is flowing in the upward direction in the straight conductor, how will be the direction of the magnetic field? Is it clockwise or anti-clockwise?
Anti-clockwise.
Yes, in the figure, look at the figure here, there is a right hand rule is given. So right hand thumb rule is used. What is the use of the right hand thumb rule, and which rule is used to find out the direction of magnetic field in the case of a straight conductor? That question you can expect. So this is a 2 mark question. Okay, 2 mark question. So when the current is passing through a straight conductor, magnetic field will be concentric circles, and the direction of the magnetic field can be find out by using the right hand thumb rule. So right hand thumb rule is important here. So right hand thumb rule is only using to find out the direction of magnetic field in the case of straight current carrying conductor. Then 3 mark question you can expect from the part solenoid. Okay, solenoid. Solenoid is very important. See, in the case of solenoid, field patterns is similar to a bar magnet. Okay. So in the case of solenoid, the questions you can expect is, what will be the strength of magnetic field at the center of the solenoid? That is very, very important in this year. So you just go through this diagram. Okay, this diagram is important. Here it is given the direction of magnetic field, and the pattern is similar like to a bar magnet, and it is somewhat oval shape. Okay, here the important thing is, at the center of this solenoid, the magnetic field strength is constant, or it is a straight line. What it indicates? From this part, I am saying the 3 important points. Okay. In the case of solenoid, at the center of the solenoid, the magnetic field lines are in a straight line. What it indicates?
Uniform.
Magnetic field is uniform. It's okay. So at the center of this solenoid, the magnetic field is uniform and straight, it indicates that magnetic field is more at the center of the solenoid. Okay. And another thing is magnetic field is uniform. Then another thing is how we can make an electromagnet. That question also you can expect from this solenoid. How we can make an electromagnet. Okay. Hope you are understood already know that what is meant by electromagnet. When the current is passing, a conductor will act as a magnet. That is known as electromagnet. Okay. Electricity and magnetism. These are interrelated. Okay. So if you are placing an iron core inside the solenoid and the switch is on, or when we are applying the current, that iron core will act as a magnet. So that magnet is known as electromagnet. Then the questions you can expect from this part is how we can increase the magnetic field strength in the case of a solenoid. Okay, how we can increase the magnetic field strength of solenoid. Okay. So there are three methods. It will increases with the current. If you are increasing the current, its magnetic field will also increases. Then if you are increasing the number of turns in the solenoid, that will also increases the magnetic field. Then inserting iron rod at the center of the solenoid. Inserting iron rod at the center of the solenoid. These are the three methods to increase the magnetic field strength in the case of a solenoid. So solenoid is very, very important. 3-mark question you can expect. Whatever I told from that part, you can expect. Or one more important question from this part is how we can identify the north and south pole of a solenoid. That is also very important. That question is given in the exercise part, so we don't want to explain it more, I think, like so. Okay. So how we can identify the south and north pole of a solenoid. So it is very simple. If you are bringing a, yes.
Is it correct to say that north pole is always connected to the negative terminal of the battery and south to the positive terminal?
It is not like that. Okay, there is no connection between negative and this bar magnet. Okay, and we are not discussing about that kind of things now. Okay, actually it is not in our syllabus. Like that discussion is not in our syllabus. It is always saying.
പക്ഷെ ഒരു ഷോർട്ട് കട്ട് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു, അതായത് നോർത്ത് പോൾ ഇപ്പോൾ നെഗറ്റീവ് കാരം കണക്റ്റഡ്, അതുകൊണ്ട് വെച്ചാൽ
ഇതിൽ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ചോദിക്കുക എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഹൗ വി ക്യാൻ ഐഡന്റിഫൈ ദ നോർത്ത് ആൻഡ് സൗത്ത് പോൾ ഓഫ് ദിസ് solenoid. Okay, there you can identify that south and north pole by taking a bar magnet, and if you are bringing the north pole of the bar magnet and if it is repelling, you can understand that that part of the solenoid is the north pole, and if it is attracting towards the north pole of the bar magnet, then we can identify that it is the south pole. So actually like poles repel each other and unlike poles attract each other. That is the basic principle in order to identify the south and north pole of a solenoid. Okay, that you have to mention here because that only we are discussing in the syllabus. Okay, is it clear? So this is very important. Solenoid is very important. 3-mark question you can expect. So that I just revealed it, and it took 5 minutes around like that. Then induced current is another one important thing in this electromagnetic induction. Electromagnetic induction, how the current is inducing. Induced current is coming in this topic. Induced current. Induced current means it is a current that is induced due to the variation in the magnetic field. If there is a variation in the magnetic field or change in magnetic flux or change in magnetic field can create a current in the conductor. Suppose if the magnetic field just near to a conductor is changing, that can create a current. That current is known as induced current. Okay. Right hand rule we will use in the case of AC generator. But AC generator is not in our syllabus. But you just understand what is meant by Fleming's right hand rule. Okay. Now, electric motor is another important either 4-mark or 3-mark question that you can expect from this chapter. So, the important thing in this electric motor is look at the position of each and every instruments in this one. The split rings. The important thing in this one is the part is split ring. What is the function of split ring? Okay, that is very, very important. Suppose the questions may be coming like this. A student is doing an experiment on electric motor and he just forgot to connect the split rings or to include the split rings. Instead of that split rings, he is only using the brushes. Okay, then what will happen to this rotation? Like that, the questions you can expect. Okay, and what is the function of split ring? That is very, very important in this regard. Okay, split rings. Split rings is used to change the direction of current. Change the direction of current, and hence to keep the rotation in a particular manner only. Suppose if there is no split rings, what will happen? This rectangular coil, first it will rotate to the right and second it will rotate to the left. Okay, that means there is no continuous rotation of this rectangular coil if you are forgetting to connect the split ring. Okay, so split ring has a major role in the case of electric motor. So what is mean by electric motor? It is a device used to convert electric energy into mechanical energy. So in order to get the mechanical one or this rotation in a single manner, single continuous manner, you will connect split ring. Split ring is used to change the direction of current, and hence this rotation will be in continuous manner and in one direction. That is very, very important in the case of electric motor. And the question, another question from this part is, which is the working principle of electric motor? What is the working principle of electric motor? Can you say working principle of electric motor? Since this is a 4-mark question, you can expect 3 or 4 sub-questions from this part, okay? So, working principle of electric motor is when a rectangular coil or current-carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, then there is a motion in the conductor, okay? So, that is the working principle of electric motor. Just to go through the working principle of electric motor. Here, a rectangular coil or current-carrying conductor is placed in between north and south pole of a bar mag or powerful magnet. Okay, so this will create a motion in the conductor. That is the working principle of electric motor. Another question from this part is, which rule we are using to find out the direction of rotation of this conductor? Which rule? Electric motor, which rule is using to find out the direction of motion of the conductor or rectangular coil? Yes, Fleming's left-hand rule. Fleming's left-hand rule. Okay. Then this kind of activity-oriented questions you can expect. Okay, so you should go through all the diagrams, and here in this case it is mentioning a current-carrying conductor is placed in magnetic field. There is a force on the conductor. So this is the experiment or activity to demonstrate there is a force on the current carrying conductor when it is placed in a magnetic field. Here you can expect the question, if the rod AB is placed in parallel, what you can expect to notice? Now this AB is actually perpendicular to this bar magnet. Suppose U-typed magnet. Suppose in the question you can expect twisted questions. Okay, so sometimes a student is doing this activity and he is connected the AB conductor in parallel with this bar magnet or this U-typed magnet. What kind of observation you will expect? Can you say the answer? There is a zero force. That means whether the conductor will move or in motion during that time. No, very good, very good, very good. Abdul Wajid got the correct answer. See, that kind of twisted questions also you can expect. Okay, if it is placing in parallel with this U-typed magnet, then there is no motion in this conductor because during that time the magnetic field and this current direction is in parallel, so that there is no force. So there is no motion in this bar rod AB. Okay, so that kind of twisted questions also you can expect. Okay, so these diagrams are very important and you should understand what is the basics of this one. And self-induction and mutual induction. What is mean by self-induction and mutual induction? There is no question, but it will be activity-oriented question. Suppose if you are bringing a south and north bar magnet towards this solenoid or somewhat, it is the first circuit is connected with a galvanometer and it is having turn on a pipe, PVC pipe. Okay, so this question you can expect 3-mark question or 2-mark question. Okay, here the question may be, what will happen to the galvanometer if the bar magnet is bringing towards the circuit? What will happen to the galvanometer?
Deflect.
Yes, galvanometer shows a deflection in one direction. Suppose if the bar magnet is taking away, again galvanometer shows a deflection in the opposite direction. What will happen if the bar magnet is putting inside it one and there is no motion? What will happen? Suppose if you are taking this bar magnet and kept inside, but it is not moving, then there is no deflection in the galvanometer. That is very important. Okay, so you can expect 2-mark or 3-mark question from this one. So in this case, it is mutual induction because there are coil 1 and coil 2. Okay. See, these are very, very important. You can expect this kind of activity-oriented questions. Okay. It is not asking any direct question, or markup is not needed in the case of physics. But in the case of physics, concept is very important. So if you understood the concept, it is very relaxed. You can do it everything. Okay. So this kind of diagrammatic questions, activity-oriented questions, you can expect. Here the coil 1 and coil 2 is the coil 1 is connected with a battery and a key, but coil 2 is connected with a galvanometer. Here the question will ask, suppose if the key is closed, what you can observe in the coil 2?
Sir, if south pole is brought near it, it will turn clockwise, right?
Yeah. Actually, you don't want to mention the direction. Actually, you can just mention that galvanometer shows a deflection in one direction. When it is taking away, the galvanometer shows a deflection in the opposite. Suppose if the north pole and south pole is interchangeable, then again the current direction will be also changes. So in the second case, in this diagram, if the positive and negative terminal of the battery is changing, then also the deflection is also changes. So this is also important. Here, when the key is closed, what is the observation in the galvanometer? No deflection. If the key is closed, what we can expect it to be noticed in the galvanometer? 3 questions you can expect, 3 points only from this diagram. One is, if the key is closed, galvanometer shows a deflection in one direction. Okay. If the key is open, then galvanometer shows a deflection in opposite direction. Then again, the third point is, if the key is closed for a long time, or open or closed for a long time, then there is no deflection in the galvanometer. These 3 are the observation. If the key is closed, suddenly you can expect or you can notice a deflection in the galvanometer in one direction. If the key is taking away, again you can notice that galvanometer shows a deflection in another direction. And the third thing is, if the key is closed or open for a long time, then there is no deflection in the galvanometer. What it indicates actually? Actually, it indicates that if there is a change in the direction, or if there is a change in current, that will create a magnetic field. And if there is a change in magnetic field, that is also creating a current. That is the things that you have to understand here. Okay. So a varying magnetic field can create a current in the second circuit. Okay. Here a varying magnetic field is creating in the coil 1, and hence it is creating a current in the second, and the galvanometer shows a deflection. Here the galvanometer shows a deflection because there is a current flow. Okay. Actually, coil 1 and coil 2 is not in physical contact. That means this is connected with an insulator. Actually, this is a PVC pipe, so there is no connection between coil 1 and coil 2. But a current is creating in the second coil because of the variation in the magnetic field. Okay. So a varying current can only create a varying magnetic field like that. Okay. So here 3 things you have to notice, because it is very important. When the key is closed, there is a deflection in the galvanometer in the one direction. When the key is open, there is a deflection in the galvanometer in the opposite direction. And if the key is closed or open for a long time, there is no deflection in the galvanometer. Then this is a model question. Ansari sir was demonstrating and explaining in his class. See, this is a 4-mark question. Okay. Yes.
Will there be any questions like what is electromagnetic induction?
There is no, you cannot expect any such a kind of question, electromagnetic induction.
Definition.
But it is asking, see, like this questions. Okay, electromagnetic. So sometimes that may be asking what kind of phenomena is applying here, electromagnetic induction. That time you can just mention. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So this is an activity-oriented question, 4-mark question. So these are very important. Here, as Char is doing an experiment, here you can see that a spring is there, and the north and south pole bar magnet is attached here, and it is connected. It is inside the stationary coil. Okay. Then it is connected with a galvanometer. Then from this picture itself, we can easily understand that when the spring, it is connected with a spring, so that there is a movement. Yes, because it is attaching a weight. So when it is moving, what we can observe in this galvanometer, we can expect a deflection in the galvanometer. Okay. So whether the deflection will be in one direction or in 2 directions in the galvanometer when this process is going on. That means when bar magnet will move up and down because it is connected with a spring. Yes, you can see that galvanometer shows in one direction and in another direction. So there will be a 2 deflection. One is in first, if it is in first in right, in the second time when it is going up, it is in left. Okay, so this kind of twisted questions also you can expect. So anyway, here you can just understand that there is a deflection in the galvanometer because here the magnetic flux is changing or magnetic field is changing when this bar magnet is moving up and down in this case. Okay, so these all are about the discussion in the case of magnetic effects of electric current. So important questions only coming from activity oriented. Okay, so all the diagrams are important and just understand the basic concepts of these all. Okay, so now if you have any doubt, you can just clear up. Otherwise, we are going to wind up the session. Okay, since the time is very long. If you have any doubt, you can just ask me. And some doubts needs more and more time. We will not explain here because that will take more time. So the important things we discuss, which is important among this important thing is we cannot say that only one is important. See, I told that in the case of first chapter electricity, Ohm's law, then resistance, factors affect resistance, then power. From this part, Joule's law of heating. From this part, you can expect a 2-mark question. Then 3-mark question you can surely expect from series and parallel connection. That is very important in the chapter electricity. In the second chapter, the important thing is 2-mark from straight conductor. How will be the magnetic field in the case of a straight conductor and how we can find out the direction of. So you will know right hand thumb rule. Then second part is solenoid. You can expect a 3-mark question. Solenoid. Okay. Then the important things about solenoid I told. Then you can expect electric motor. What is the working principle of electric motor? Which rule is used to find out the direction of motion of the conductor? Like that you can expect. What is the function or what is the major role of split ring in an electric motor? That is very important. Then the last one is electromagnetic induction. From that part, this mutual induction and self-induction is the important things. From that part, this kind of simple questions are asking. So we can expect this kind of simple questions will ask in the exam, and all of you pray for that one, and wish you all the best for your upcoming examination. Be relaxed, cool, and the concept is very important in the case of physics. No need to be tensive. If you know the concepts, it will be very easy. Okay. Thank you all for your cooperation. Since your net MB may be finished, some people are lost already because I think their 1 GB is not 1.5 GB. Okay. Anyway, thank you for your cooperation. Keep patience and do it like this in the examination also. You should keep patience and do whatever you know at the first and then take time for the next one like that. Okay. In the part of physics, your concentration is very important and no need of more time for writing in the examination because physics need only small sentences to write. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you, Latif sir, on behalf of Malappuram Central Sahodaya.
Thank you,
Again, I thank Simila ma'am for biology session and Sinumol for the chemistry session, and this time Abdul Latif sir for the physics session. And students, you have been waiting patiently, even though there was a interruption in terms of network. You waited patiently and you have completed this session. Thank you. The link will be available tomorrow in YouTube also, on YouTube also. Thank you for joining the MCS Malappuram Central Sahodaya session. I wish all the very success to all my dear students across Malappuram district. Thank you. Have a nice evening. You may leave.